Hey y'all, welcome back. Oh Lord. Let's see. We're having I feel like all of my things are doing what they want to do. If it's up to me, I'd say everything I have is on is doing Mercury on retrograde. I don't know. I don't think Mercury is on retrograde. So we'll figure this out. We're going to figure that out. Okay, here we go. I don't think it's on retrograde. I think we're making it happen. We are making it happen. We are are not in retrograde. So guess what? I am so excited to be here because guess what? Welcome to another episode of Growth Group with Dr. Ericka. It is so great to see all of you all. I'm feeling all the love and I don't have anything to say other than I'm feeling all of the love. It's the holiday season. So I'm here with a special episode of Growth Groove with Dr. Ericka. Now I have all the energy because, as I told you before, I'd taken some time off just so I could get energized to do all of this quality time with all of you. So you might be wondering, what's the topic today? Oops. Let's see. This is not giving facts today. It is not giving facts. So let's update that. We'll just say it is giving everything today. Everything is giving everything. So if you have not spent time with me and you don't know me, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. If you have, it's great to see you again. Let's do a little housekeeping before we get started. First thing is, if you know someone that needs this, please tag them. If you know someone that needs this, please share. Sharing is caring. And if you're watching it later, put hashtag replay in the comments. It's all good. If you don't know me, I am your host, Dr. Ericka, Harvard trained double board certified psychiatrist and host of the hit podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka. I am irrationally passionate about helping people be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry practice. My books, including Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy, my speaking, and my podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka, that I mentioned earlier. I do all of this to help busy people like you that you show up for work, you show up for your friends, you show up for your family, you show up for your community, but you often don't show up for yourselves. I do all of this to help put you back in your life. So today we are talking about 5 tips for surviving the holidays. You might be like, Dr. Ericka, why are we talking about this? Well, we just came through Thanksgiving and we're right around the corner, not too far away from Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and New Year's. And one of the reasons, number one, is I don't know if it's you. Let me know in the chat if this happened to you, where it just seems like time has flown by. I feel like this year was just starting. And the thought of the fact that we are almost halfway through December is really almost creeping me out because I'm not ready. I have a million things I need to get done by the end of the year. I'm not quite sure how it's going to happen, but I just can't seem to process the fact that we're this deep into 2023 and we're almost in 2024. So the first thing is, just because the holidays can be stressful, when they come up and you aren't ready, when you're like, it was just yesterday and why is it getting dark at 5:30 at night? So the first reason is because it's just approaching fast. Number 2 is it's coming. Number 3, we are adulting. You are adulting. You have a million things on your plate. And sometimes this just feels like one extra thing. The next thing is the season can be full of times where people want you to do stuff that honestly you do not want to do. So I want you to be prepared. The next is, for some, this is a period of joy. I will admit, I'm one of those people that I love Christmas. My spirit animal is Buddy the Elf. I would be like, hey, it brings me lots of joy. Even though this year I feel like I'm a little behind because this year has just sped by. But for a lot of people, these holiday seasons, especially the winter holidays, can be a time of grief and missing people that are gone. They can be stressful, especially with our economy being a little unstable. So sometimes people's finances or the issues with their job or other things happen, and just life happens. So I want to make sure that I'm here to help support all of you. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Let me know where you are watching from, and let's go ahead and get to it. So we're talking about 5 tips for surviving the holidays. First one is simple. Get some sleep. It is such a temptation to try to do all of the things and ended up running around like a chicken with their head cut off, from trying to put toys together late at night to packing in outrageous amounts of work and then trying to travel to trying to make it through to see every human being that you know because it's holiday time. I just want you to give you permission. I'm giving you permission to give yourself permission to actually get some sleep. Part of the reason it's so important for you to get sleep is your body heals itself physically, emotionally, and even spiritually while you sleep. So you need this rest. Your body needs this rest. If you don't get rest, let me tell you a few of the things that happen with insomnia without even any other mental health condition. You can have dysphoria or sadness, you can have irritability, low energy, poor concentration. None of that stuff is fun. And it really isn't going to work at this time of year. The next one is plan for rest and downtime. It's very easy to get caught up in all the things you need to do, all the places people want you to be, making sure you're there. And I want you to be very intentional of making sure you have some rest and downtime mixed in there so you don't become overwhelmed, stressed out, or just totally exhausted. Plus, the other reason I want you to get exhausted is there are all the heebie jeebies out there. COVID is making a comeback. We have the flu, RSV is around, and there are some other respiratory bugs around. And the one thing you don't want to do is wear yourself out so badly that your immune system is not functioning at the highest level, and then you get sick. Number 3 is discernment with activities. Just because people tell you you need to do everything or you feel like you need to do everything, and I'm going to say that specifically because sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in all these things you feel like you should do, and the reason you're doing them is because internally you feel like you have to do them. I want you to have discernment with activities. What does that mean, Dr. Erica? That means you need to figure out what you actually really want to do and to really think about making sure you're not overextended. So, not necessarily saying yes to everything. You may not be able to say yes to everything. You may not be able to cook everything, but having some discernment so that you set yourself up for success, not set yourself up for exhaustion. The next one is if this is not a humongous time for grief, because if you're grieving and it's very difficult, I do not anticipate or expect for you to somehow in the middle of grief to have fun. But if you have the capacity to have some fun or some joy, do it. If you have the capacity to do it, make sure there's time to do some things that are fun. Don't turn the holiday season into a million versions of work because you've run yourself ragged with trying to cook like you're doing a royal spread and buy all the things and go all the places and go to so many events you can't keep track. So I want you to make sure you have some space to have fun. Number 5 is give yourself some grace. Yes, there are ways we picture these things and we picture them being perfect. Sometimes it's not that way. A lot of times it's not that way. And I want you to give yourself some grace for the times when you're tired or the times where you plan to do Christmas cards and they didn't happen. The times where you plan to go to all the events and you only made it to 2. The times where you thought you were going to put on the best outfit and realized that you didn't have the right shoes. The times where you meant to get the most in on trend or in trend thing there is and you didn't make it to the store or online to get it before it was gone. Give yourself grace. You do not have to be perfect, and I want you to feel like you have the power to make and curate this experience to be what you want it to be. The bonus is let others know if you're having a difficult time. I always love this term that one of my podcast guests in the past talked about called, she would call it isolation island. And I'd say, don't be on isolation island when you're having a difficult time. This doesn't mean you have to go on social media and write some long post about how you're having a hard time. That's not mandatory, but people can't support you if they don't understand what's going on. You don't have to necessarily tell all your business, but I'd say just let 1 or 2 people know that you are struggling or having some challenges so they can support you, even if it's something as simple as them checking in on you or dropping by or just holding the phone for you, even if you weren't talking. But people can't help and support you if they're trying to guess if you're okay. There is clarity, and just let a few people know that you're not okay. All right. So let's see where we are right now. Me and these electronics are having a moment. So if you're coming in now, welcome. We are talking about 5 tips for surviving the holidays. I'm super excited about this. I think this is a really great topic given that we are in the midst of this. We're in holiday party season. Right around the corner is Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and New Year's will be before you know it. And I just want you to have what you need for this not to be a super stressful time that feels like it sets you back. So, we're talking about a few things. Now, a couple housekeeping. If you know someone that needs to share this, if you know someone that needs this, you can also tag them. And if you're watching it later, just hashtag replay in the comments and let me know you are here. Let's do a wrap up so I can get you out of here. Because you know what? As much as I love doing quality time with you, you may not want to spend your whole Tuesday evening with me. Okay. So let's talk about this. Let's make all of this work. We are on for review. We're doing 5 tips for surviving the holiday season. Number 1 is get some sleep, get some rest. Do not try to make it through this marathon sleep deprived. Sleep deprived is not the new sexy. It's definitely not going to put you in a place to be able to manage this in a way that's going to feel good for you. Number 2, plan for rest and downtime. Be intentional for a couple of reasons. One is so that you can make it through this and actually enjoy yourself, or at least at the minimum, not be at your highest level of stress. Even if you're having some hard times, you're definitely going to feel better if you get some rest. And it has to be intentional because there are a million things to do. And if you don't make time and make it intentional, it just might not happen. The other thing is there are a lot of triggers with this time of year, from triggers from loss, triggers of negative experiences, triggers to financial things that happen, triggers to the pandemic, all kinds of triggers. So, part of the reason you need to plan for rest and downtime is this is a time where people can be triggered to have fight or flight responses. And if you're able to rest, that'll help shift you out of that. Number 3 is having discernment with activities. That just means you may not be able to do everything, and that is okay. Just think about what you actually want to do. This doesn't have to be a season where it's torture because you're doing a million things and none of them are things you want to do. I'm a fan of, there are some things we have to do that we don't want to do. I have to clean my toilet. Is it my most favorite thing? No. Do I love vacuuming? No. Do I love changing the bed? Yeah. No, that's a lie. No, I don't like that either. But I have to do it. So when I talk about having discernment, there are some basic things. You still need to wash your butt. You need to brush your teeth. You need to floss. But just discernment with all these other activities to determine what you actually have energy for, what you're actually going to enjoy, and what's going to be stressful or even unpleasant. Because sometimes there are activities or gatherings that are just, are going to be horrible. And I want you to start thinking about whether or not to actually attend those, because you need to protect yourself and your energy. Number 4 is, if this is not a big time of grief, have some fun, whatever that fun is. Just have some fun, enjoy it. And number 5 is, this is not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. So give yourself some grace. If you don't get all the things done, it's fine. If things don't come out exactly the way you want, if my best friend and I were talking at Thanksgiving to the family about Keisha Lance Bottom's old mac and cheese. If your mac and cheese don't come out right, or you were doing a turkey or some ham and it didn't come out right, or you burned the top of your pie, it is all good. If you didn't get the number one toy, give yourself some grace. You do not have to be perfect. It is a gift for us to just be able to spend time. Shoot, it's a gift just to wake up. The bonus is, if it's difficult, let someone know. Do not struggle by yourself. Even if you don't feel comfortable telling someone everything that's going on, let somebody know so they can support you. Okay? Hey. So that's what I got for you today. That was today's Growth Groove. Thank you so much for tuning in. I feel all of the love. As I told you, my number one love language is quality time. So anytime I spend time with you is quality time for me. So thank you for tuning in. Feel free to still drop comments. I am here for them. I got a couple of things to tell you, and then we're out. The first thing is, happy holidays. And if they are not happy, I just hope you make it through and can make it through in a way that does not feel terrible. Do not struggle alone. I know this can be a tough time for people too. So, for as many people that it's joy and fun, there are ones that it is tough and a struggle. And then there are people where it's kind of in the middle, where some things are fun and some are just overwhelming, and the whole season becomes stressful because of all the responsibilities. And I just want to be here to support you so that you can make it through this part of the year in a way that actually feels good to you. So, please feel free to follow or subscribe to me, especially on the YouTube. Thank you so much. You can find me for Growth Groove with Dr. Ericka on Tuesdays. It's my joy to be here, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I do have my podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka. Let me get you the info. There we go. You can find it on all podcast platforms. We have some new things that are going to be dropping. Make sure you follow and subscribe so that you can hear about the bonuses and everything as it releases. You can find it on all podcast platforms or go to betterthepodcast.com. The next thing is, I am Dr. Ericka. I am that Harvard trained double board certified psychiatrist. So if you want me to be your psychiatrist and you want to talk to me about what's going on in your life on a one-on-one level, check out goodwinmed.com. Goodwinmed.com. That is my high quality telepsychiatry practice. And I do a lot of therapy. So just go to goodwinmed.com. Again, I want to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up for you. I feel all the love. And I want you to have a great day. And until next time, which will be next Tuesday, have a better day. And the other thing is, if you start missing me, just check out the podcast. All right. Take care. Bye.